Clair Obscur Expedition 33 becomes a breakout hit as sales hit over 1 million copies in 3 days. In a gaming landscape dominated by franchise reboots and remakes, it's rare to see a brand new intellectual property not only survive, but thrive. Yet that's exactly what Sandfall Interactive has achieved with sales for Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Just 3 days after launch, the game has already sold over 1 million copies. A feat made even more impressive considering its competition and the size of its development team. Well, yeah, the Oblivion remaster just came out, so it does have steep competition. That shit shadow dropping, they definitely didn't plan for that. The studio, comprised largely of former Ubisoft developers, shared the exciting news directly with fans on social media in a celebratory post on X. Sandfall Interactive wrote, "And here we are, 3 days after launch, 1 million copies sold. Thank you for believing in Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Yeah, that's all you have to do. That's all you have to do to ingratiate yourself with your fans. Just be humble and be thankful. That's it. You don't have to get into these culture wars. You don't have to lash out at fans. You don't have to talk politics. Nope, just thank them and move on. It's really that simple. It's really that simple. And this is how you become a beloved game dev. It's not hard. It's so simple. Later, the team clarified the numbers in a follow-up message, explaining the numbers include units shipped to retailers and does not encompass our awesome Game Pass players. Thank you all. Okay, so that's good. I don't want them to include Game Pass because I want to know the actual sales. Game Pass is separate entirely. I hate it when devs try to, lump in Game Pass and say, see, it actually did really well. Look at how many players we have. Okay, how many units did you sell, though? Because all those players could be on Game Pass for all we know. But yeah, it's great to see. 1 million copies sold is great. The sales success of Expedition 33 comes despite launching shortly after the surprise shadow drop of Oblivion Remastered. Well, that's what I was saying. That's some surprise competition. A highly anticipated release that many feared would overshadow any competitors. However, Expedition 33 not only held its own, it flourished, winning critical acclaim, player loyalty, and even breaking into the top of both Metacritic and OpenCritic's chart for 2025. Words can't fully express how we feel at the end of this week. Tomorrow comes thanks to you. Damn, look at those reviews. See, when it's like all like 10s and 9.5s, that's when you can probably say, okay, maybe we can trust the critics. Maybe. But when you see like 8s and 7s, red flag. That is bad. That is a 7 from like a critic review. That means it's dog shit. You would think, oh, 7, that's a C. That's like okay. But no, 7 is dog shit, and 10 is good. 9 is like, okay. It makes no sense, these review scores. But anyways, as stellar review scores continue to pour in, Sandfall expressed their gratitude in the community, stating, "Words can't fully express how we feel at the end of this week. Tomorrow comes thanks to you." This humble response stands in stark contrast to the often boastful and defensive reaction seen from larger studios when launching major titles. Well, this is kind of what I was alluding to earlier. Like, remember, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Warhorse Studios. When that launched, Daniel Vavra was a huge fucking just bastard and just asshole and dick. Just lashing out at fans. Over the success of his game. In stark contrast to just, hey, thanks for buying our game, guys. That's all you have to do. Don't be Daniel Vavra. Be based fucking whoever is running their Twitter over at Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Be like them. Just thank your fans and move on. It's not hard. Sandfall Interactive's approach, gracious, appreciative, and sincere, has only endeared them further to fans. Yep, there it is. It's that simple. A game that bucked the trend. Much of the excitement around Clair Obscur Expedition 33 stems from the fact that it's entirely original creation. That is true. It is very rare to see original creations in this day and age where everything's either a remake or a remaster or a remaster of a remake or a remake of a remaster. Like, you don't get original titles very often. In an industry increasingly criticized for churning out safe, formulaic content, Sandfall Interactive delivered something fresh. A turn-based RPG with a rich emotional narrative, breathtaking art design, and tight, polished gameplay. And, I'm going to add in one more point, some good waifus. You play as a white man with a bunch of women on your team. Reviewers and players alike have praised the game's wholesome yet heartbreaking story, the fluid combat mechanics, and the absence of significant technical issues at launch, a rarity in modern gaming. This is probably the most incredible achievement of all. They actually optimized a game. Modern devs optimized a modern video game. Oh, praise the Lord. This doesn't happen these days. Nowadays, you just, even remakes, they come out and you can't even get 60 FPS. It's just garbage, optimized horribly. Your CPU's using 100%. It's using 100% of your CPU and only like 30% of your GPU. It's just optimized to fucking shit. So, I am very ecstatic when someone says, hey, this game's actually optimized well, because it's such a rarity these days. Notably, the game's success also undermines the often repeated industry narrative that turn-based RPGs are dead. Ooh, this makes me mad. I see this so much. Like, this is what happened with Final Fantasy VII. They're like, oh, players don't want turn-based RPGs. Oh, this genre that was the biggest fucking genre in the fucking world with RPGs and changed the entire gaming industry. Yeah, players don't want that anymore. No, how about we remake Final Fantasy VII into modern action slop? No, that's not what people want. Make the game like, it's like people love the video game. So what should we do? Oh, how about we take all the gameplay from the video game that people loved and just put in new gameplay? No, it's a video game. Of course, you want to preserve the gameplay. Like, that should be number one. After that, sure, just update the graphics or whatever, but keep the gameplay of all things. That's why I'm so annoyed with the Final Fantasy VII remake, because it's just not Final Fantasy VII. It's a different video game. Expedition 33 stellar user scores on Metacritic, an impressive 9.7, suggests there remains a strong appetite for this style of gameplay, provided it is executed with care and passion. Yes, of course, there's still an audience for RPGs. Of course, there always has been. They didn't just disappear. They're still there. Stop making modern action slop instead of RPGs. People want the RPGs, please. Outshining its origins. Adding to the achievement is the comparison to the developer's former employer. While Ubisoft's recent releases, including Skull and Bones, Star Wars Outlaws, and Assassin's Creed Shadows, have struggled with poor player reception and underwhelming concurrent player counts, Sandfall Interactive's much smaller team has delivered a hit that has surpassed these massive AAA projects in both acclaim and engagement. I wonder why games like Star Wars Outlaws and Assassin's Creed Shadows failed. I wonder it has something to do with them making the main character in Star Wars Outlaws like a weird kind of ogre-faced female. Even though Star Wars is a male brand and always has been. And Assassin's Creed Shadows, a game set in feudal Japan, where you play as the only African in Japan. And oh, now he's been we've changed history. Now he's a badass samurai too. People hate this shit. This is like the most woke, just apparent, just in your face propaganda. People despise that. Don't do that. So yeah, of course, Sandfall should get praised for not doing that. For example, while Assassin's Creed Shadows peaked at under 65,000 concurrent players on Steam, Expedition 33 recently recorded a peak of 121,422 concurrent players, despite launching day one on Xbox Game Pass. Okay, so it got over double, despite also being on Xbox Game Pass on release. So it just completely trounced it. This performance demolishes the claim that Game Pass releases inherently dampen sales or engagement on other platforms. I wouldn't say it demolishes the claim. It just shows that despite that, they still got that many sales. It's definitely the case that people didn't buy the game because it was on Xbox Game Pass day one. I would still say that's definitely the case, but despite that, right, they still trounced their sales numbers, doubled it. The power of creative freedom. Part of Sandfall's sales success with Expedition 33 likely stems from their commitment to creative freedom. Unlike sprawling mega studios where thousands of employees must align with a rigid corporate vision, Sandfall's relatively small team was able to focus on a singular artistic goal. The result in a game that feels cohesive, heartfelt, and genuinely innovative. Yeah. I mean, it's tough having a team of a lot of employees that are able to work on the same vision and not have a bunch of clashing and, people who want to do different things, people who are upset about their direction. It's tough to have a team that's actually coherent and able to work together without major friction. It's really tough, especially in tech. Vera Dark, a YouTuber covering the game's rise, summed it up perfectly. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is not just a game. It's a wake-up call to AAA game companies everywhere that it is okay to take risks, to experiment, to be unorthodox, and to simply make a game they want to see made. I mean, she's right. She's right. People still want RPGs. People still want original titles. Like, of course. I shouldn't have to say this. No one should have to say this. But the problem is, these game companies, I guess more accurately, the investors, they just want sure returns. And the way to do that is to make a sequel or a remaster, which is sad. Sad but true. What I think is that there can be compromise. You have your main team, working on a new original title or a sequel. And then you have a B team and they can work on a remaster, right? Something like that. But it's tough. You can't really convince these investors who want money to not take the safe money, It's not really something that can happen. But overall, I agree with her sentiment. A bright future for Sandfall Interactive. While its combination of critical acclaim, strong sales, and overwhelmingly positive player reception, Clair Obscur Expedition 33 has established Sandfall Interactive as a studio to watch. Whether the team chooses to expand the world of Clair Obscur or tackle another original project, expectations will undoubtedly be sky high. If I had to guess, I would say they're going to do a sequel or a DLC. Probably a DLC first, but we'll see. For now, though, Sandfall Interactive deserves every bit of celebration in an industry often criticized for playing it safe. Expedition 33 and its sales success proves that bold new ideas executed with passion and respect for players can still capture the imagination of the gaming world. And based on the gratitude and humility they've shown so far, it's safe to say that this is just the beginning of their journey. Yeah. I mean, this is just kind of a wholesome video. This is rare for me. Usually I'm an asshole, right? And I kind of tear stuff up and make sort of what I would say negative videos a lot of the time. But I'm happy to make positive videos. It just, the situation doesn't arise very often. But yeah, if you're interested in turn-based RPGs, if you like games like Persona, you'll probably really like Clair Obscur Expedition 33. So yeah, I have nothing but positive things to say about this. I'm not super into games like this. Personally, I didn't play Persona. I'm not like, I mean, you gotta understand, I like Dragon Quest. I like Pokemon. I like games like that. I never got into Persona, so I'm not sure if I'm going to play this game, but it's definitely caught my interest, right? Because this kind of went under my radar, but then it blew up and now everyone's talking about it. So yeah, maybe I'll try it out. But again, I'm happy to see an original title that doesn't have a massive, woke propaganda machine behind it succeed. It makes me very happy. So yeah. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. I'm a new channel, so subscriptions really do go a long way. And thanks for watching. Peace!